Yo, what is up guys? It is AJB here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be giving 5 cars that I suggest or that I just personally think should come to Vehicle Legends. Now there's actually a few cars that are, there's actually a lot of cars that are not in Vehicle Legends that I think will be a pretty cool addition to add to the game. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Real quick though, before I do get into it though, this is pure credit or full credit to Epic Rhino Hunter. I watched one of his videos. He did a video on cars that he thinks should come to Car Dealership Tycoon, and I asked him if it was okay for me to use his idea for Vehicle Legends, and he said yeah, it's completely fine. So here we are. So yeah, full credit to him. Go watch his videos and go sub to him. Yeah, full credit to him. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now my first suggestion, personally, I think should come to the game is the RUF CTR3. Now this is a car that not a lot of games have, and it's a pretty underrated, and I feel like it's actually pretty forgotten. I don't think a lot of people even remember what this car even is, but this car is actually really cool. It looks really unique, and also, as you guys know, RUF is pretty much a rip. I don't know if I would say rip off, but it's pretty much Porsche, just under a different name. But yeah, RUF, I think that'll be really cool to add the RUF CTR3. It just looks kind of cool. I like it and whatever. And yeah, but let me go ahead and go over the specs real quick. Now the specs on this thing are actually pretty interesting. This thing has a 3.7 liter twin turbocharged flat 6 engine that makes about 777 horsepower. It's rear wheel drive and it's a mid-engine coupe. And this thing has about 980 millimeters of torque, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, honestly, personally, I think this thing is pretty fast, not gonna lie. And overall, I think it's just a pretty good car to add to the game. I mean, that's just me personally. But yeah, that is definitely one of the cars I think I would want in the game. Let's go ahead and move on to number 2. Now this is a car I'm kind of surprised that hasn't been in the game yet. Now this car's already in Driving Empire. Yeah, Driving Empire, that game, you already know it. This car's already in the game, so I'm kind of honestly a little bit surprised that it's not in Vehicle Legends yet. It is the 1997 Honda Civic EK9 Type R. I'm honestly a little bit surprised that this car isn't even in the game yet. It's a little bit surprising, not gonna lie. It's a pretty good car. I mean, I feel like any other games or any other car game should have this car, and Vehicle Legends is one of the cars that actually does not have this, or if I recall from my really good memory, I don't think this actually even been in the game in the past either. So I don't know. I mean, I think this game, I mean, if it did come into the game in the past, then I think this would be a great car to even like bring back. Now, so like I said, this is a small little car from the 90s. And yeah, so obviously it's not gonna be fast, but it has a 1.6 liter B16B, I think that's what it's called, a B16B i4 engine, and it's front wheel drive and makes about 182 horsepower. But still, it's not, obviously it's slow, but still, either way, it's a pretty cool car to even add to the game. So yeah, this thing, I'm honestly really surprised this car's not even in the game right now. But yeah, this thing definitely 100% needs to get added. Okay guys, so for this next car, you guys probably have not even heard of this car ever. This car is honestly really forgotten about. I feel like not a lot of people even talk about this car or remember it at all. But basically, this next car that I'm going to mention is none other than the Koenigsegg CC GT. Now I absolutely love this car, and this car has a really interesting but very unfortunate backstory to it, or just a story in general. Now before I start going over the specs, I honestly want to share this story with y'all, or share this little interesting story with y'all, because it's actually really interesting. So basically what happened was that back in 2007, when this car was being built, this car was obviously, as you guys can see by the car itself and the livery and everything like that, this car was going to compete in a race that was taking place in 2007, and it was a GT1 race, or GT1 class race. And basically, as the car was being done, or being made, the rules for the race changed, and the car was literally not even able to race in the race anymore, therefore making this car not even raceable at all. So unfortunately, due to the stupid change that they made, which I actually don't remember what the change was, but if I end up remembering it or finding it, then I'll put it on screen right now. This was the change that ended up happening. Well, that ended up happening for the car not being able to race. It honestly really sucks that this car was not able to race, but if it did race, this thing would absolutely have like destroyed every car in the race, I bet. But unfortunately, this car literally was made and that's it. Never was used. But yeah, it is very, very unfortunate, but let's just go ahead and get to the specs of this car, because specs are kind of interesting itself. So guys, basically the engine for this thing is actually based off the Koenigsegg CC engine, the production engine, and which is actually kind of interesting, not gonna lie. But there's actually something different about this car. Basically from the CCX engine, they actually removed the superchargers and they actually expanded it to 5 liters instead of 4.7 liters like the CCX. And basically this thing made about 600 horsepower, which honestly is not too bad. Now other specs right now I can't find or anything like that, and I guess they're just unknown. But something I do want to mention, millimeters of torque or pound-feet of torque or whatever, that's unknown, but I do have a rough estimate on what it could possibly have been. So since this was based off since the engine for the CC GT was based off the CCX, and the CC GT was actually made of some kind of carbon fiber, whatever like that. I don't know exactly what it was, but I'll put it on screen. And it was actually apparently a very lightweight vehicle. Since this thing was actually based off the CCX, and this thing was lightweight, I could only assume that since the CCX did 0 to 60 in about 3.7 seconds, this car, the CC GT, I would think maybe did 3.5 seconds or something like that. That's just me, I'm just assuming. But yeah, other specs right now are just not known, and I don't know what the drivetrain is, so I don't know if it's rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, or four-wheel drive. I'm not sure. There's a lot of stuff I could talk about with this car, not in terms of specs, but there's a lot of stuff just in general I can talk about this car. I'm not going to, because this video would literally be like 40 minutes long. I'm not even joking. I love the CC GT, so let's go ahead and move on. So the next car we're going to be talking about is the Spania GTA Spano. Now, I've talked about this car in my video where I talked about cars that I think should come to Driving Empire, but I think this should also come to Vehicle Legends as well. I mean, this is a really, really cool looking car. I think, honestly, anyone knows what the heck this car is only because of Need for Speed, I swear. Like, if I'm not wrong, I believe the car is literally on the cover as well. So I'm pretty sure if anyone knows what this car is, it's literally because of Need for Speed. But yeah, honestly, this car is freaking awesome. I love this car so much. It's really cool. It's really special. I think it's honestly pretty forgotten as well, not gonna lie. But honestly, yeah, this car is really, really cool. Let's go over the specs real quick. Now, the engine for this thing is actually pretty interesting, not going to lie. This thing actually has a 8-liter V10 engine that was developed by SRT for the Dodge Viper, and then basically they tuned the engine to make the car have 925 horsepower. And the top speed of this thing was actually not too bad either. This thing had around between 230 to 240 miles per hour. It was something like that. But yeah, I think this thing should definitely come to Vehicle Legends. I think it would be really, really cool to see this thing. Also, I do want to point out that I am talking about the first gen Spano and not the second gen. There is 2 differences between the two. I'll put the differences on the screen right now, so I'll put them side by side. There is a difference between the first gen and the second gen. I am talking about the first gen in this video. Now guys, for the last car on this list, you guys are going to be pretty surprised about this car, because you guys are probably going to think that it's maybe already been in the game, or maybe it is in the game. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. It is not in the game, and I don't recall it ever being in the game, ever. And you're going to be pretty surprised that it would never in the game, because this car is like really well known and pretty iconic, I feel like. So, here's the last and final car on this list. The last car on this list is going to be the Saline S7. And no, I'm not joking. I do not remember this car ever being in the game. And it's so iconic and so known for being like the only real car that Saline made by themselves. It's just such a known vehicle, so I'm honestly really, really surprised that this car was never put into the game. Oh, and guys, before I start saying anything, I want to make sure that I just want to make this clear real quick that I'm talking about the twin turbo version, the 2006 twin turbo version. Not the standard version, because I'm pretty sure the twin turbo version is the one that almost anyone knows or anyone wants. So yeah, I'm talking about the twin turbo version in this video. So let's go ahead and go into the specs. So yeah, so here are the specs. 750 horsepower, I believe. This thing goes about 250 miles per hour, which is really not that bad. And this thing has a 7-liter V8. Really good, and about 700 pound-feet of torque. But yeah, I'm honestly really surprised that this car is not in the game. Yeah, this thing really does need to get into the game, and yeah, so definitely needs to get at it. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be pretty much all for this video. If you guys did enjoy, then leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Comment down below if you guys think any of what do you But anyways, guys, that's pretty much all for this video. If you guys did enjoy, then leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Comment down below what you guys think on my list. Do you guys think these cars should ever be added to the game? Personally, I think they should. That's the whole reason why I made this list. Comment down below what cars you guys think should get added to the game, and maybe I'll add them to a video. I'm not sure. Maybe. And yes, I read my comments. But yeah, comment down below some cars that you guys think should come to the game. Comment down below what you guys think on my list. Comment down below if I got any performance stats wrong. I kind of do need to know that, just so no one thinks I'm being stupid or anything like that. Yeah, comment down below if I got any performance stats wrong. Comment down below what cars you guys want to see in the game. And yeah, if you guys want any of these cars to be in the game, maybe leave a like. And if you guys want a part 2, then again, leave a like. And yeah, that's gonna be pretty much all. Follow me on Twitter, join my Discord server, those who have been in the description. Have a great day, everyone, and peace.